pandan kelapa sawit,
sawit,
right?
yes. That's one of
Usually
source
they are
biomass.
going to export it outside, and then usually the other countries will maybe change it into the biofuels or maybe.
In the past,
So that's why.
in the past we only like selling the biomass, the waste,
Yeah.
but we buy the bioethanol, which is
That's
very
right.
sad.
Come back to i3L podcast with the i3L library, featuring our guest star, Miss Riahna here as one of our friends of library. So first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Leonardo Thenov, faculty member of the International Business Management, and here I have Miss.
My name is Riahna. I'm Faculty of Biotechnology in i3L. Nice to
Alright.
meet you all.
Okay, so we have Miss Riahna here with us today as one of our friends of library. So today, let's just talk about maybe your daily life and daily activities first. So let's just talk about maybe simple things and like maybe starting off with some kind of basic questions from me just to get to know you better, right? Because there's an Indonesia phrase called tak kenal maka tak sayang.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, Sarah.
Yeah, that's right. So I need to get to know you better so that we can, go on with this discussion, right?
Sure.
So maybe I just want to know, where did you graduate? Where did you get your PhD from, Miss?
So I graduated from Wageningen University, Netherlands, in the lab of biochemistry. So I graduated in 2022, and then after that I decided to go back to Indonesia and work in i3L.
Oh, so why did you decide to go back to Indonesia at first?
Why I decide back to Indonesia? Because I want to serve my country. I want to build up Indonesia better through science and also research that I'm doing. So that's I decide to go back to Indonesia.
Oh, but I noticed that you graduated from the biochemistry, but why did you suddenly change your
As a-
major into
like
biotechnology?
biotech. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, biotechnology is quite multidiscipline study program, I can say. So it needs a strong foundation of other kind of knowledge, include biochemistry. So actually, in biotechnology, we learn so much like application from biochemistry. It needs foundation from biochemistry. So that's why I'm become part of a faculty in biotech, because many biotechnology process it involve biochemistry knowledge, and that's very applicative for students to have a strong foundation for biochemistry when they want to be a graduate of biotechnology.
Oh, so biochemistry is like the foundation of the biotechnology itself.
Yes, and not only biochemistry, other kind of
Biophysics?
biophysics as well,
Oh.
macrobiology, many more. And one
Oh.
of them is biochemistry.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's very interesting.
Yes, sir.
And then did you really wanted to become a lecturer before, or did you have any other plans?
Yeah, actually, I'm very passionate to be a lecturer because I can interact with many students. Because young students, they're really inspirative, they're really energetic, and it can keep me young. When I interact with young people, then it keep me young. I like their spirit, and yeah, university life, we not only about learning, right? We discover something through research, and we use the knowledge. We call it like community services. So we can get everything of that in the university. So that's why as a lecturer is a really how I can say, it's really a great position in which you can learn, you can grow, and even you can apply what you learn for community. So that's the reason.
Wow, that's a really interesting reason, yeah. Because for me myself, I became a lecturer just because like my own childhood dreams. I was planning to be a doctor or maybe an athlete, but the most the most thing that I can be is, I think, a lecturer itself.
But you're a great lecturer, I can see.
Oh my god, thank you very much.
And I heard that they have this kind of Thenov fans club.
Huh? Really?
TFC, like Thenov fans clubs.
Oh my god, so a new.
Yes, and many applications. Don't you know that?
No, I don't.
Okay, now you know it now.
Yeah, now I know from this podcast itself. Yeah, so I get new information from the other lecturers. Because nowadays, I feel like, I really like teaching students, and overall, they give me new knowledge. And then sometimes when I don't know something, they will just tell me like, "Oh, sir, this is the trend nowadays. So I think you need to join the trend." And I'm thinking that, oh, I think this is really important rather than just seeing things from my own point of view. I think seeing things from the student's point of view, I think it's really important for us, right, as a
Yes.
lecturer. And, like, I'm really interested in your background as a biotechnology. Like, do you usually make your own materials or do you have any kind of resources?
For research, you mean?
Yeah, for your research and maybe
Okay.
your teaching in classroom.
Okay, so for teaching, usually, yeah, we have this kind of TLM, and then actually to deepen the knowledge before I teach the student, usually I prepare myself by, yeah, I come to library, borrow some book, and I read before I teach in the class. And yeah, that's kind of material that I'm using before I teach the student in the class. And for research, usually I read a lot of journal because the journal, from journal you can get what the recent people doing for research. There's also one thing I'm doing to prepare myself when I'm like with my student who work in my research project. We exchange the journal. Sometimes students send to me. Sometimes I read very interesting journal. I send to them so we can exchange information. So that's
Oh.
usually we did for our research group.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Mhm.
Because like business student never do that, yeah. They
They're
never send
for,
me, yeah.
they never send you
They don't
any
even,
journal.
yeah, they don't even read journals, yeah, at all.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
get
they often,
information. Get information is not only from book and journal, right? You can
yeah,
also go to the field,
yeah,
interview
that's right.
people. There's also kind of way in which you can get information.
Yes, that's
Yeah, I think
that's
for
very
the
very.
student from your faculty, your study program, this way also work a lot, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you go
but
to the field,
like,
get
yeah,
information.
usually they get the information from like some kind of maybe news or maybe
Yeah,
some kind of
yeah.
social media trends. I don't
Yes,
know
that's
why,
true.
but
Social media also you can
yeah,
get many information right now.
yeah. Sometimes people are like inserting their journals there, right? Like, for example, they are maybe making it into an article version of it, so that
Yes.
like it's becoming more interesting for us to read.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I have a really interesting question because you've mentioned before that you look for books in the
Yeah,
library.
yes, yes,
Like,
yes. That's what
for
I'm doing.
me, yeah, I just started to do that this semester because, yeah, to be
Really?
honest, back then
Uh-huh.
I was using all of my own practical skills because all of my lessons was, were maybe more into a practical knowledge rather
Mhm.
than theoretical. So I decided to just, yeah, maybe give them more of practical skills and projects rather than giving them maybe a whole theoretical stuff, like, because
Mhm.
I don't know for the life sciences students, but for our business students, yeah, sometimes they don't really pay attention to you if you give them theoretical stuff. Yeah, so that's
Mm.
the fun fact of the business students. They like projects rather than
Some theory.
theoretical, like
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
motivation from me. And yeah, so I started to look for books from the library because now I'm teaching business mathematics, so I need some kind of fundamentals for me.
Yeah, this true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so book is a good sources when you want to get very fundamental knowledge. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's a
that's
good
right.
source.
Okay. So maybe from the library itself, do you think the books are complete, or do you think are there any books that you want to be uh maybe to be put in library itself?
Mhm. So actually, as far as all courses that I teach, the library has the textbooks. For example, I teach general chemistry, and then the books, as you can see, we have a lot of very good textbooks. Even during my PhD in Netherlands, we use the same textbooks as well. So
Oh.
people who, I mean, the students who study in Wageningen University read the same books like what i3L students read. So that's
Oh.
really good that facilitation from library provide. And also, for example, I teach enzymology. Our lab also, our library also provide some textbook about enzyme. So that's quite complete. And also for bioprocessing, they have a lot of bioprocessing book. And then one book I really love because a year ago I teach this kind of bio-based product and processing, and I really love that course because it's also integrated with my research. And when I teach that kind of course, I can relate with the real what research doing. So it's not only theory but also research like practical and also business side, because when you get product, of course you need to commercialize, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
So that's kind of very interesting courses that I ever teach. And I use some book from library to facilitate me with more knowledge which I can deliver during the class.
Oh,
Yes.
really interesting. So yeah, i3L's library has a lot of books here.
Yes,
So
and
you
quite
know, like
complete.
it's
And
quite
the quality
complete.
of book is also quite good.
Oh,
Yeah, because I remember many like organic chemistry, right? Because I did my PhD in biochemistry. In that time, I also have a chance because PhD in Netherlands mostly they have to teach, right? Not
yes.
only doing research, but they
Yes.
have this kind of teaching thing that they have to do. And then what I observe, what book the student read there is more or less the same. Even is some of them is exactly the same book actual student can read from library.
Oh,
So
that's really
yeah,
interesting.
yeah. And then I think our library also provide this kind of journal. They can give some access. So if you interesting to read some journal that really like very important for your research, we can ask also library to download for you.
Oh,
Yes.
so the library is really resourceful for us.
Yes,
as
not
a
only
lecturer, but also for
for the
students. Yeah.
student. I mean, if you're really into, like, for example, let's say like CRISPR-Cas, for example, it's really kind of heat topic for research right now, right?
Yeah.
So if you find some journal but is kind of not free, I think library also provide a kind of facility in which they will help you to get get the open access
For the
journal that you
journal.
want to read. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yes, but the thing is, still need to be a trigger from, isn't it like the force for ourselves? I mean, if you're really curious on something, there's always library can provide you the answer.
Oh, that's really great because like to be honest, I rarely go to the library to read books. Yeah, sometimes I just go here to find some kind of peace.
Yeah, but library is quite
Yeah,
place
it's
also,
really
sir.
peaceful because
It is. Yeah,
you
this
cannot speak loudly here, and
Yes.
even you can like you can have your own room when you
Yeah.
book the room, and then you can just go for a meeting with your maybe
it
student
is.
or
And also, like for example, we had a cubicle, right? In which you can
Yes.
also read in cubicle.
Yes.
However, when you come to library, it has kind of
Yeah.
open like glass, which can give more long vision to you. So
That's
it's
right.
also refresh your brain. It's not only stuck in the cubicle when you want to read something, right?
Yeah, that's
So
right.
you can come to library. It's silence, peaceful, as like you said before. And yeah, it's quite refreshing. I find also it's quite refreshing to read a book in library.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, so maybe one question from me is that because you are one of the friends of the library,
Really?
so yeah,
Really? Are you
You don't
sure?
know?
No, I don't know. Are you
Really?
sure? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm really
How,
sure.
how
No.
can I be a friend of library?
Yeah, because like you always came to the library and then you always read books here. You borrowed a lot of books for your TLMs and then for your maybe for your research, and then you also ask for quite a lot of journals. And I know like that's really interesting.
Oh,
So do
thank
you
you,
have-
library then.
Yeah. Do you have any books that you want to recommend us?
Actually, many book, because yeah, I usually to teach some course I use like 2-3 books. Not only TLM that been accessed already, but I read as well from book. But yeah, this is one of my favorite. Because I love the course as well. As I mentioned to you, I teach this bio-based product and processing before. And these kind of courses really benefit for biotech students, especially if they are taking this kind of sustainable streaming. So in biotech, we do have so many streaming, right? We do have bioinformatics, medical, and sustain. And if you're really into sustainability, so the course of bio-based product and processing is really useful because you can make something in the sustain way. And in that time, I borrowed several books, and I found this book is one very useful for me.
Oh, maybe can you tell me a little bit about this biotechnology dalam bahan bakar non fosil?
Okay, so the title of book is, as you can see here, Biotechnology in Non-Fossil Fuel. Yeah, because
Oh.
you know fuel, right?
Yeah.
We need that as a source
Yeah.
of energy when we
Yes.
drive and so on. So mostly the fuel that been accessed in the market is from fossil, but we know that fossil is not renewable sources. So now the trend from the scientists, they want to develop this kind of non-fossil fuels and with application biotechnology knowledge. So
Oh,
this really useful. So this book not only provide the theories which make student boring, as you said, yes,
yeah.
yeah, it's too theoretical, is too boring as well. But it give you kind of application, and then it can inspires you to be as an entrepreneur.
Oh,
Yes, because
really?
it gives you kind of knowledge, the raw material, the process, the product, like the final product, the quality of the product itself, and then how you can develop into business. So that's
Oh,
really good. Yes, that's really what I teach in the class about bio-based product and processing, especially for non-fuel. Non-fossil fuel. So yeah, so that's why I really love this book.
oh,
Yes.
so there's a real life case study also in
It
this
is,
book?
it is, it is.
Oh,
And also like for example, why we call it non-fossil fuel, because the source is not from fossil but from the biomass, the waste.
oh,
Any
so
kind of waste can be liquid waste or
oh,
solid waste.
so this is really related to the sustainability,
It
right?
is, it is, it is. And then it make kind of sort of energy. Not so in this book also mentioned like the type of non-fossil fuel like bioethanol, biodiesel, acetone, biobutanol, biogas, and then some of these non-fossil fuel we also develop in the lab with my
Oh,
student.
really?
Yes, and we got grant as well for that.
Oh,
Yeah, like 2024,
Yeah.
me with several students, we wrote kind of proposal. We want to make bioethanol and biodiesels. We send it the proposal to Dikti, PKM RF, PKM Research, and we got the money. And yeah, the students success to make bioethanol. And then this book is quite applicative for them.
Oh, so now people are starting to shift into the non-fossil fuels.
Yes, yes, sir.
Oh,
It's a
But-
really hit topic for the sustain. Like
but why do you think it's important for the life today for us to use the non-fossil fuel itself?
yeah, because as you know, fossil fuel is non-renewable sources. So if we keep using that,
Hmm.
so in sometimes we don't know, maybe like 10 years later or like 15 years later, it can finish. And then it will be bad for the next generation, maybe for your kids
Oh.
or for your grandson. They will difficult to find kind of source of energy. We don't know, right? So that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
we need to find the renewable one. Can be actually can be many, can be sun, water, whatever. But as Indonesia, it has so many potential biomass which not been used, like many tons. Like what we did for the research, we use this kind of in Indonesia we call it tandan kosong kelapa sawit.
Uh-huh.
And then we use that kind of biomass to make bioethanol and biodiesel.
Oh,
So it improved the economic value of the waste as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because from what I've heard before, usually when Indonesian people are starting to use that kind of things, like for example the tandan,
Bioethanol.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
they-
tandan
tandan kelapa sawit, right?
Yes, yes. That's one of
Usually
source
they
biomass.
are going to export it outside, and then usually the other countries will maybe change it into the biofuels or maybe the
Yeah, it happened
yeah.
in the past.
so that's why
Yeah, in the past we only like selling the biomass, the waste.
Yeah.
But we buy the bioethanol, which is
That's
very
right.
sad. Yeah, I mean,
we have
if
the resources for that.
we have the resources, we have the knowledge, we have the facility.
Yeah.
So that's why I found it's very interesting from this book. It's really open our mind, open how we can really independent to get source of energy, because we have the source a lot. Yeah, and then the technology actually quite simple, like fermentation with some bioreactor. Is also from this book also mentioned what kind of bioreactor and what kind of cells, because fermentation of course you need cells, right? And typical cells that you can use to make bioethanol, also biogas and so on. And then what the quality, because if you want to sell something, of course they have this kind of quality, right? You cannot
That's
just
right.
make something and sell it to the market. It
Yeah.
need to pass kind of quality control.
Yes.
And then this book also telling us what kind of quality that we have to fulfill and how we can assess. Like for example, if you want to sell bioethanol, it need to have kind of high purity and what kind of technique we can use. So yeah, so this book is very inspirative. I think it's inspiring us to not only about the theory, but it trigger us to make a move to be an entrepreneur. So maybe
right.
maybe some biotech student can be an entrepreneur and can be compete with the ISB student in the future.
Yeah, of course, because
Or
like
maybe kind of
the idea,
collaboration.
yeah,
Kind
the
of
idea is
collaboration.
really
We make
interesting.
so the biotech student can make the product and collaborate with ISB, like
How to
what
market the products
and then it make it bigger. So then
Yeah.
Indonesia will never import the product anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Because
That's really
like
it's really
it's
good
really
vision for
sad,
Indonesia.
like we have the resources
It
for
is,
the
it
waste
is.
itself, but we
It
need
is.
to export it to the other countries and we need to buy it back from
Yes,
them.
we buy back like biodiesels.
Yeah.
We buy some biogas, like
Yeah, that's
biohydrogen and so on. But we can make it. Actually,
Yeah.
the source is present. The knowledge is there. It's just like if you want to really back action or not. That's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So maybe in the future, our students hopefully can, like have their own maybe company in this kind of biotechnology.
Yeah, that's true. That's one thing I always saying during my teaching time for bio-based product and processing. I always kind of deliver their thinking that this kind of courses not only give knowledge, but it can give them kind of confidence after they graduate from biotech, they can be an entrepreneur. Yeah, because biotech, as I mentioned before, is very, very multidiscipline, and that it can provide you to be an entrepreneur as well if you know how to make something, right?
Yes.
And then actually in biotech we learn also some economic calculation.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not the one who teach that, another faculty, but we learn. For example, if you want to do kind of process using this tank, not tank, but a bioreactor, we can do kind of batch, feed based, and so on. So every process they can have do kind of calculation, and which one give you lower cost but the same quality of product. So usually you can choose that one. Yeah, we learn that as well. But we don't get so much knowledge about marketing the product. So that's why maybe we have to collaborate with your department.
Yeah, that's right. Because like in my department, every day the students are doing calculation for the financing, accounting.
Wow, this will be a lot of help from your department.
Because they'll need to understand how to manage their own monies and even the company's monies. So that like sometimes when we have an excess of money, we don't spend it like, for example, okay, we'll buy this kind of maybe this facility, but we need to think ahead. Like, for example, does this facility will be useful for our maybe our company in the future, or do you think that maybe we can get more return on investment if we invest in the other places? So we need to think about that. So before we take a decision, we need to at least like maybe make a good move first, and then we can then decide what to do next, right?
Nice.
And then I want to ask you, will you recommend this book for people who don't know anything about biotechnology? So for example, for me, because to be honest, I have a really little knowledge about biotechnology. So do you recommend this book? Because I'm afraid that it might be too too
heavy for you.
for me. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, this book is quite light, I can say. Even give you kind of basic information. Yeah. So if someone not from biotech interesting to make bioethanol, want to make biogas and so on, so it provides you with very basic knowledge. For example, what is biomass? What type of biomass? And then what the bioproduct that you can make, and then the properties of this kind of product. So the language is quite simple, I think, and it's very easy to digest for someone who not have background of biotech yet.
Oh.
Also have some picture you can
really?
check, sir. Yeah, like the bioreactor, it gives you the picture as well.
Oh.
Yeah, like the system. Maybe if you cannot differentiate between batch and feed batch, for example, it gives you picture also. So in which give you understanding the process, and also with kind of table also some comparison like the yield and so on, and also some chemistry reaction.
Oh.
Yeah, like for example, how can from biomass can be a bioethanol, this kind of conversion using what enzyme, what microbes. So I think this is really helpful.
All right. And I want to ask you about your interest yourself. Are you interested in maybe, because I saw that there are a lot of non-fossil fuels here that are discussed, like for example, bioethanol, biodiesel, and then bioacetone, butanol, and like as so on, like we have maybe around 10 or
Yeah, we do have a
anything.
lot.
Yeah. So which one have your interest most?
Okay, so actually I'm interested to some, and yeah, luckily we get a chance to made it in the lab. As I mentioned before, last year we made bioethanol and also biodiesel. So there's two non-fossil fuel that we already managed back in the lab. Yeah. However, for biodiesel, because they have so many category, right? So in that time, my student managed to fulfill several kind of uh, parameter like quality standard. However, some parameter not yet because probably we need to distillate more to get more pure biodiesel. But the bioethanol is quite good. So I think these two type of product very interesting. And luckily, me and then some project student, we also made it in the lab.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, and then the good thing they also until purified it. Like after fermentation, they do this kind of distillation. So it's using some heat, which will evaporate the ethanol, and you get the pure ethanol after that. So yeah, they're doing very great, and even they publish also the work. So they get some data, and they manage to publish it in the Q3 like Scopus Indexed Journal Q3 publication.
Wow, that's
Yes,
really
they're really
interesting.
I'm very proud of them. They're really doing very good good job.
Because they can even implement things from the books into their own research.
Yeah, and even publish their own data. Very good.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yes.
All right. So I think that's all our interview for today.
Yeah,
our
thank you very much,
podcast.
sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss Riahna,
It's
for your
very nice to
it's
talk with you.
yeah, it's very insightful for me because for a person who doesn't know anything about biotechnology, I think I got a whole new insights about biotechnology itself from the basic things, and then what I need to know about the bioethanols and what are the trends of the biotech itself. I'm really interested in knowing these kind of topics more. So maybe for the next one, we can move to our Q&A session. So here, I'm going to give you maybe some kind of simple basic questions, and you can just answer according to your preferences, all right? So let's start. The first question.
I'm nervous.
No, you don't need to be nervous. It will be really easy.
I feel like I'm in the exam right now.
No. Just a simple mock-up exam.
Okay.
Yeah, so my first question is biotechnology or biochemistry?
Okay, so I have to choose.
Yes.
I can say pass? Okay. I love two of them. I cannot choose.
Oh, so you love the both of them?
Yeah, the thing is, with biotech also cover other kind of knowledge, right? The science, not only biochemistry. So two of them is I love them.
All right.
Okay.
And then the next question is non-fossil fuel or fossil fuel?
Non-fossil fuel for sure.
Non-fossil fuel for sure,
it's
right?
more sustained.
Yeah, it's more sustainable for us, and how.
Also for our Earth, it's better.
That's right. Very good.
We only have one Earth, sir. So all of us need to taking care.
Yes, that's right. We need to take care of our Earth,
only one Earth. There's no second, third Earth.
That's
only
right.
one.
Because nowadays, the global warming issues. That's really dangerous for us.
It is. It's real, yeah. Global warming issue is really real, and then we can feel it. Like the temperature always keep increasing, and then the sea level increasing because the ice in the pole, North Pole, and then South Pole is melted. So it's a really real issue.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So maybe my third question is about simple one: teaching or research?
Research, of course.
Research.
Yes, because in research actually we learn and then we apply what we learn. So if I have to choose teaching and research, I will choose research. But the thing is, research, actually my supervisor always say like this. It's better for you spend 1 month reading and do lab work for 1 week. Then you do lab work like 1 month, but reading 1 week. It's different. So better read you learn.
Yes.
Like you will learn for 1 month, but doing lab only 1 week success. Then because you read little like 1 week, but it make you do experiment longer like 1 month. It give you more frustrated. So that's why I always say to my student, before you go to the lab, read first. Because by doing reading, it increase the chance of your research being success. So that's why reading, learning again, open again TLM, because yeah, it's a very basic thing we learn from the class. Actually, it's very benefit for you to really master it before you doing research. Mhm.
Oh, that's really
Mhm,
interesting.
mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as one of the friends of library, maybe do you have one or two sentences you want to say to the audiences here?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, because I feel many benefit from library. So I encourage you to to come to library, enjoy the facility. Yeah, here is peaceful, and we also have discussion room in which you can use if you need discuss. Uh, Here has a lot of book in which you can read when you are like interesting to some subject, or if you're facing exam, because I believe in TLM is quite limited, and if you want to dive deeper, then book is one of answer. Yeah, I mean ChatGPT also work,
Yes,
of course.
definitely.
Yeah, but here we also have computer, right? You can
Yeah.
use computer in library and open your ChatGPT, so it's still okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, we have so much thesis as well. If you're interested in what research already been going on in i3L, because sometimes one research uh, have opportunity to continue, right? And then that's only you can know when you see the thesis, what gap that you can develop if you're interested to do research. I think yeah, what I can say as a highlight, come to library and become a friend of library. And also the people in library is very friendly. I love them. Miss Dini, also Pak Slamet, they're really so lovely. So they always welcome you. So I think there's no reason that you don't come to library. I think I don't find any reason. It's just no, like nothing. So there's no reason that make you not come to library.
All right.
Mhm.
So thank you very much, Miss Riahna, as one of the friends of library. So no wonder you're the friends of the library, yeah, because you often come to the library. You always visit Mr. Slamet and Miss Dini
Yeah,
here.
yeah, very welcome.
Yeah.
Like greeting from them. Like hello, Miss Anna. It's warm up your heart, right?
Yeah,
You
that's
feel
right.
welcome, and then you keep going, come and again like that. Mhm, mhm.
And to find new resources, like
Yes,
wow.
it is, and the book also quite complete,
Yeah.
as you can see here. So yeah, it's quite complete collection from library itself.
So I think I need to learn more from Miss Riahna here because like I rarely came to the library
Yeah.
because like there's not much business books here, but
Mhm.
hopefully in the future maybe our library can provide more business
Yes.
books because like
Yeah.
we are really interested to also learn not only sciences but also business studies.
Yeah, very very nice note, sir.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I believe library will improve.
Of course, it's already a good place to study, and then it will improve more. Then like it will be really worth it for your visit. Like so here we have the biotechnology dalam bahan bakar non fosil book, Miss Rihanna's favorite book here. So please don't forget to read this book because this is really interesting. It introduced the basic concept of the non-fossil fuel and the biotechnology itself. So like for people who doesn't understand about biotech at all, I think you don't need to be afraid, and you can just like start reading this book, and like maybe just come to the library and maybe learn something, and I think it will be worth your time. All right. So I think that's it from me, Leonardo, signing out. Thank you very much.